Y'all, we gonna get some stormy weather probably over the next day or two, so I wanted to get the beauty of this tree. This is the flowering Yoshimo cherry tree. Look at this. It looks like snow. That's all petals. Yeah, hi chickie chicks. It is 70 degrees today, and it's gonna be chance of tornado weather tomorrow, and then snow the day after that. Oh, it's so pretty. Hey y'all, we are about a month away from planting everything outside. That's the last spring frost. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing this particular weekend. So we'll start with seeds that I just put on paper towels a couple of days ago, and they're already starting to, let me see, to get some root growth. They're germinating in these wet paper towels. I started some Tahitian squash. Let's see what these roots look like in here. Look at that. See that? That's what you want on the wet paper towels. If they try to grow into the paper towel, just be gentle getting them out. There you go. So that's pretty much what all these looks like. I'm not going to get them all out, but hey, Yoda, quit. Don't. He's sniffing my plants, y'all. All right, so we've got Tahitian squash. These, I do want to talk a little bit about this. This is the lavender seeds that I put in the freezer overnight for 24 hours and then put them in a wet paper towel. And then for 24 hours in the freezer, took them out, and they've been out for 6-7 weeks and they haven't done anything. So that procedure did not work. I did, however, these right here is a variety. I don't know if you can see that little seedling right there growing. You see it right there? Okay, that is one of 3 varieties here. You might see one on this one. Yeah, there's one right here where my finger is. I don't know if you can see it because it's on that letter T. But these I put in wet paper towels in the refrigerator, and I left them there for a month. And then I checked on them weekly to make sure there was no mold growing in these wet paper towels in the refrigerator in Ziploc bags. And then after a month, I took them out and made sure that it had plenty of moisture in these paper towels and just let them sit on the counter. And within a couple of weeks, I'm starting to get sprouts. So that actually worked. I have 3 varieties: the Munstead, the True Lavender, and the Lady Lavender. So that technique worked wonderfully. So that will be my technique of the future. We started some candy roaster squash. Those are huge sweet squash that I love to feed to my chickens or use as a side dish for us. Butternut squash. Red curry squash, that's another sweet variety. It tastes like the honey nut. I think it's really good with some butter and maybe some cinnamon sugar or butter with brown sugar on there, and cook it. It's really good. I started some black-eyed Susan vines. We've been slowly putting in pots. I didn't get very many of those. I don't know what's going on with the germination of those, but watermelon seeds. We're gonna grow some melons. What, Daisy? This dog has to be in my lap. She can't stand it. Madhu raw melon. It's a small cantaloupe melon. A regular cantaloupe melon. I think I took that because there was nothing on the seed packet that I labeled except cantaloupe, so I think I took that from a cantaloupe that I bought at the store and really liked. I'm continuing to grow some straw flowers in seeds. Now, I do want to talk about the straw flowers for a second. I did start a bunch of straw flower seeds 12 weeks before last frost date. And in that potting soil, I had mixed the seed starting mix with some leftover potting soil from last year, and And between that and the cold nights that we got in, because I left them out here in this unheated sunroom, they are not growing too well. They appear to be, a lot of them, stunted. The majority of them appear stunted. I don't know if they'll catch up or not. But I started some more straw flower seeds, and those are being kept inside, and they are already the same size as the ones that's been out here for 6+ weeks. So that's a lesson learned. You know, part of the gardening process is you make mistakes and you learn from mistakes, learn from those mistakes. So next year, we won't be starting on those so early. We'll just wait until about 5 or 6 weeks before last frost. Keep them in seed starting mix only, and keep them inside until they get a little bit big and strong enough to come outside when it's not going to get too cold out here at night. We've got some honey boat squash. This is a new one that I'm starting. It's supposed to be up there right with the honey nut squash in terms of sweetness. I love a winter squash like that as a side dish with meals. It's one of my favorites. So we're growing some of those. And another petite melon, Petite de Remos, I don't know, melon. I know I'm butchering that. And we're doing some banana melons. I did not have luck with these last year because the squash bugs got to them. So this year when I put them out, they're going to be on a tarp growing with some kind of protective cloth over them. These squash bugs on me went rounds last year. I'm really hoping that I can prevent that by putting a protective insect cloth over those squash plants, and starting them now. Hopefully when they get ready to go out in about 4 weeks, they'll be strong enough to fight off any other little critters. I'm also dealing with moles and voles in the yard, and I've been putting out baits for those to hopefully kill some of them, and also some moe and vole repellent. So I'm just going to keep doing that at least every couple of weeks. I started a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to do it again this weekend, and in a couple of weeks I'm going to do it again, because they destroyed a whole trellis on me a couple of years ago. They just went through and wiped out every single plant I had that was going to be flowering over that trellis, and it was pretty devastating. We got a dog over here trying to chew my stuff. Quit. Speaking of moles and voles, look here. What are you doing? Huh? Over here chewing my plants. But anyways, we've also got some peas. I started on wet paper towels, so when those sprout, they're going to go out. And another thing that's getting ready to go out right now, since we are 4 weeks away, is these bad boys. These are my sweet peas. So I'm going to plant them out. These, I have some other ones that I went ahead and topped. Well, actually, I did top some of these. Look here. Let me show this. So I topped this one a week ago, and look here. It's already sprouted out another sprout on the side, and it's trying to do another one right here and right here. So topping those is going to make those sweet peas bushier, and I'll show another one. Y'all, this works, I'm telling you. I'm like happy with this. See how I topped that one? And now it's growing these. So topping them down to about 3 or 4 leaves. These two are sticking together. They're trying to latch onto each other. But there you go. See those 2 new growths? It was topped right there. And I topped it at about 3 or 4 leaves up. So these are going to go out, and they're going to get transitioned out. There's one here, I forgot. I'll just pinch it with my fingernail. Pinch it with my fingernail. There's actually a couple I forgot. How did I do this? Maybe I just didn't think they were big enough to pinch when I was doing it before. But, and I've also heard you can take the parts that you pinch and try to reroot those too. So, I don't know. I might try that if I want to try to get more of them throughout the course of the spring and summer. But these babies are going to go on a trellis today. And they can tolerate temperatures probably down to around 26, 27. If it says it's going to get below 32, I might go ahead and go out there and cover them with a frost cloth overnight, just to be on the safe side. But those are going in the ground today. I'm also we're working on building a privacy hedge in the backyard. There's a lot of people that moved in on the back side where I live, and I'm trying to create more privacy for myself and also for them, and also to keep the dogs from seeing a bunch of people and barking all the time. But so we got to get some post holes dug and set. get the sweet peas in the ground. I also need to start getting some of the dragon fruit that I have growing inside over the winter. Get those out here and pot it up if I have time. And what else we got? I think that's it. That's a lot. We're going to be pretty busy today. So come along with me. Let's get started. All right, we're going to put it on this trellis back here because this one doesn't have any mows or bows in it yet. I'm going to be really mad if I plant them on the front one that I do know has mows and bows on it. So we're going to fill this one up. Yoda, quit. So the clematis that I planted last year are growing on this trellis, and I completely forgot about these, so that's good. That looks like one too, right there. Well, that's a pleasant surprise. So this trellis does have roses growing up on it, so it will be a combination of roses and sweet peas. Okay, I've got all the sweet peas in the ground, and now I'm getting started on the strawberry order that I just got in from an online order, and these are way better than the ones from Lowe's and Walmart. Look at that. Way better. I've got several more down in there, so we're going to go ahead and get these in the strawberry planters and get that squared away. You want to make sure that that crown is just above the surface. Right here, this is the crown. That has to be above the dirt. So I'm going to bury it right there, the top of my finger down, and this will be up out of the pot and soil. What you doing, Chewbacca? What you doing, baby? Hey y'all, so this is a quick interlude. So I decided to try something with my stunted seedlings out in the sunroom that I had used, and I'll show you right here. Those have been out there for 6 weeks, and that's all I've got. So I had mixed seed starting mix with some compost from last year that was dry, and I thought that I could mix it and make it work, but it didn't. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these seedlings, look at that, out of their little trays, and I'm putting them in just the seed starting mix itself, and I'm kind of planting them a little bit deep. Hold on, let me show you with this one. I'm taking it down to where just like mostly the green part is here, and hopefully they will form roots around the seed starting mix that I'm putting them in now. And I hope that I can make them be able to grow some roots, because I think the soil that I had them in was too hard and they could not root out. So that's why we're taking them out of these, putting them in just seed starting mix alone. And I'm going to give them a few days and see if they start waking up. And if they do and start getting a couple of true leaves, then I can shoot them with a very weak fertilizer. So I'm going to get that done, and then we'll be back. Okay, so here's all the plants. These right here was just seed starting mix only. So you can see how they look, as well as these. And then this is the ones that had the mixed potting soil with seed starting mix, and as you can see, they're doing poorly. So I'm going to get some more seed starting mix and up pot those. These I planted later, but they're already bigger than the ones I started a few weeks ago in the combination mix. So these right here are the straw flowers that I took out of the potting soil and seed starting mix, and I put them in just a seed starting mix. I did that last night, so we're going to see how those grow over the next few days. I left one of them right here in the seed starting mix with potting soil, and I'm going to compare to see if these rapidly pick up growth after they've been stunted, after I put them in just seed starting mix versus the one I left alone. So this is going to be a little test. I want to take some of these coleus, and also I already started some inside, so I'm going to take half of these, maybe at least, change those into regular seed starting mix. These are the tomatoes. I also changed into the seed starting mix last night, and I put them in deeper because tomatoes will grow roots up and down their stem. So that was one long stem. It goes to the bottom, and I've put that soft seed starting mix all the way around it, so it will hopefully root out and become an even stronger plant if it, once it catches up. These I also did last night. My poor little Tommy Tias, they're looking rough, but we're going to see if we can save them. This is a good experiment and lesson learned. Tonight I'm also going to come and do my bee balm. So, and I see little fungus gnats flying in there, and I've got some mosquito bits in there trying to kill those, but maybe when I change out the potting mix, that will help too. So they're trying, I don't know if you can see, they're trying to get true leaves, them little green leaves on that. So maybe if I go ahead and change that seed to seed starting mix the seed in it, might make a big difference. But I mean, you can see the ones here, just seed starting mix. So I've learned my lesson. And one thing too is these marigolds are almost big enough. When this center part gets a little bit bigger, I'm going to pinch it to make them bushier. This one's almost getting there. It's kind of big. So I am going to go ahead and show you over here. Let's see. None of those are ready, but I do have some cosmos back here in the back that are tall enough that I can go ahead and pinch. So I don't know if I'm going to have my cutters over here. I don't think I do. I might have to use my hands. But these are Cosmos. They're getting too big and leggy, so I want them to bush out. And I will do this with the marigolds as well when they get bigger, a little bit bigger. But like right here, see this head? I'm going to pinch it probably about right here. See that? And that will hopefully tell this to bush out, to make a shorter, bushier plant. I'm gonna save these and look up to see if I can root these. I'm gonna have to research that. This one right here is pretty big. It's gotten pretty tall, so take out that central leader. It'd be interesting if I can pot those up, double my plants. This one right here. Take out the central leader. And this would be so much easier if I had a pair of clippers. I've got my dog groomer thing here harness, which does not work, by the way. He still squirms out of it. Let's see, this one, we'll pinch. This one, I'm trying to decide. It's pretty big. Two of them here. We're going to take this part off. This one. I fertilized these today too with a fourth of the strength of regular liquid fertilizer. Don't put full fertilizer on new seedlings like this because it can burn them. Let's take this one down a little bit. Okay. I want to research real quick what I can do with these, if I can do anything at all, and we'll be right back. Okay, so from what I've researched, you can root these cuttings that I took off, and throughout the year as you're pinching your Cosmos plants to make them bush out more and to flower more. When they start looking leggy, just pinch them back and they'll grow out and flower more. So I'm going to take these, and supposedly it could take up to 3 weeks. I'm just going to set them out here in the sunroom. I'm not going to think about it and just see what happens. So there they go with the rest of their friends. And here is a last look at everybody. 4 weeks before we're going outside in the ground. Let's get. And I did want to show the ones. These are the straw flowers that I started just a couple weeks ago, and they are in pure seed starting mix, and you can see a big difference. These are already bigger than the ones I started 6 weeks earlier. So I think definitely it had something to do with the soil. But these are fixing to go outside. Some of these smaller ones, they just germinated out of their seeds a couple days ago, so that's why they're littler. But these are several days old. And I've started some new yarrow. These are also germinated a week ago. And I put those in pure seed starting mix. Let's go outside and look at the yarrow I started 6 weeks ago that had the combination mixed soil. And these are the yarrows that I started 6 weeks earlier. You can see they are pretty much stalled out. There's some of them that's trying, so hopefully when I up pot those into plain seed starting mix, they'll pick back up. So we'll do that this evening. See if we can save them. All right, y'all, that concludes everything I've done this weekend. We are 3.5 weeks away from getting stuff outside in the ground. All of this stuff. Y'all, I am going to be busier than a goat in a briar patch. Getting all this stuff out in the ground. Look at all that. So hopefully, and there's more in the house. So hopefully between now and the next time I post, I will have hopefully progress from the seedlings that were stunted and I put in regular seed starting mix. I took them out of the bad stuff that I had them in. So that was a lesson learned for the future. As gardeners, we make mistakes and you learn from those mistakes. You don't learn and progress if you can't have a mistake to learn from. So we'll get that done. Hopefully we'll have progress with that. I need to go ahead and look at my flower beds and see what needs some filling in. And I go to a local garden center that sells, well, it's not a garden center, it's a personal owned business that sells truckloads of compost, topsoil, mulch, all that stuff for way cheaper than box store bags. So whatever I need, I'm going to assess the garden and get things ready to get planted in. So a lot's going to be happening. Lowe's staff, if they find the slightest bit of damage to their plants, they will put them on the clearance rack. Let me show you some things I found. Right here. I found 2 of these. This is mulberry, and it was $14. I got it for $7. Actually, I got 2 of them. So I'm going to start growing mulberry too along the fence line that I'm building out in the back end of my garden. So it had some frost damage. I cut that off right here. That's what these are. But this is a perfectly good plant. Perfectly good. So I got 2 of those. And goes the water bottle. There's the other one. I mean, look at that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I got it for 50% off. So every few days I do hit up Lowe's and go just walk in, look at their clearance aisle, see if there's anything there that's on sale, 50% off. You know, I'll show, you know, stuff like this right here could have been dried out and drooping, and it went from $5 to like $2.50. So, and that's 6 heads of romaine. I just brought them home, watered them up, and look at them. They're perfectly fine. So we'll be hitting up clearance stuff every other day in the meantime. And next time I see you, we'll touch base on how everything's going and talk about getting things started outside. So it's getting ready to get busy. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. But happy gardening, y'all. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Talk to you soon.